I didn't care more than words can say, if I didn't care, would I feel this way? If this isn't love, then why do I thrill? And what makes my head go round and round while my heart stands still? If I didn't care, would it be the same? Would my every prayer begin and end with just your name? And would I be sure that this is love beyond compare? Would all this be true if I didn't care for you?
If I didn't care, honey child, more than words can say. If I didn't care, would I...
Mr. Dufresne, describe the confrontation you had with your wife the night that she was murdered.
It was very bitter. She said she was glad I knew, that she hated all the sneaking around. And she said she wanted a divorce in Reno.
What was your response?
I told her I would not grant one.
I'll see you in hell before I see you in Reno. Those were the words you used, Mr. Dufresne, according to the testimony of your neighbors.
If they say so. I really don't remember. I was upset.
What happened after you argued with your wife?
She packed a bag. She packed a bag to go and stay with Mr. Quentin.
Glenn Quentin, the golf pro at the Snowden Hills Country Club, the man you had recently discovered was your wife's lover. Did you follow her?
Went to a few bars first. Later, I drove to his house to confront them. They weren't home, so I parked in the turnout and waited.
With what intention?
I'm not sure. I was confused, drunk. I think mostly I wanted to scare them.
When they arrived, you went up to the house and murdered them.
No, I was sobering up. I got back in the car and I drove home to sleep it off. Along the way, I stopped and I threw my gun into the Royal River. I feel I've been very clear on this point.
Well, where I get hazy is where the cleaning woman shows up the following morning and finds your wife in bed with her lover riddled with .38 caliber bullets. Now, does that strike you as a fantastic coincidence, Mr. Dufresne, or is it just me?
Yes, it does.
Yet you still maintain that you threw your gun into the river before the murders took place. That's very convenient.
It's the truth.
The police dragged that river for 3 days and nary a gun was found. So there could be no comparison made between your gun and the bullets taken from the blood-stained corpses of the victims. And that also is very convenient, isn't it, Mr. Dufresne?
Since I am innocent of this crime, sir, I find it decidedly inconvenient that the gun was never found.
With just your name, and would I be sure that this is love beyond compare?
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard all the evidence. You know all the facts. We have the accused at the scene of the crime. We have footprints, tire tracks. We have bullets strewn on the ground which bear his fingerprints. The broken bourbon bottle, likewise with fingerprints. And most of all, we have a beautiful young woman and her lover lying dead in each other's arms. They had sinned. But was their crime so great as to merit a death sentence? Now, while you think about that, think about this. A revolver holds 6 bullets, not 8. I submit that this was not a hot-blooded crime of passion. That at least could be understood, if not condoned. No. This was revenge of a much more brutal and cold-blooded nature. Consider this: 4 bullets per victim. Not 6 shots fired, but 8. That means that he fired the gun empty and then stopped to reload so that he could shoot each of them again. An extra bullet per lover. Right in the head.
You strike me as a particularly icy and remorseless man, Mr. Dufresne. It chills my blood just to look at you. By the power vested in me by the state of Maine, I hereby order you to serve 2 life sentences back to back. 1 for each of your victims. So be it.
Sit. We see by your file you've served 20 years of a life sentence.
Yes, sir.
You feel you've been rehabilitated?
Oh, yes, sir. Absolutely, sir. I mean, I learned my lesson. I can honestly say that I'm a changed man. I'm no longer a danger to society. That's God's honest truth.
Hey, Red. How'd it go?
Same old shit, different day.
Yeah. That how you feel? I'm up for rejection next week.
Yeah, I got rejected last week.
It happened.
Hey, Red, front me your deck.
Get the fuck out of my face, will you, man? You went to me for 5 packs already. 4, 5.
There must be a con like me in every prison in America. I'm the guy who can get it for you. Cigarettes, a bag of reefer, if that's your thing, a bottle of brandy to celebrate your kid's high school graduation, damn near anything within reason. Yes, sir, I'm a regular Sears and Roebuck. So when Andy Dufresne came to me in 1949 and asked me to smuggle Rita Hayworth into the prison for him, I told him, no problem. Andy came to Shawshank Prison in early 1947 for murdering his wife and the fella she was banging. On the outside, he'd been vice president of a large Portland bank. Good work for a man as young as he was.
Hey, Red.
speak English, butt steak? You follow this officer.
Seen such a sorry-looking heap of maggot shit in all my life.
Hey, Fish, come over here!
Taking bets today, Red?
Smokes a coin. Better's choice.
Smokes? You're down for 2.
All right, who's your horse?
That little sack of shit. 8. 8 from the front. He'll be first.
Oh, bullshit. I'll take that action.
Yeah, me too.
You're out some smoke, son. Let me tell you.
Well, Haywood, you're so smart, you call it.
I'll take the chubby fat ass there, the 5th one from the front. Put me down for quarter deck.
I must admit I didn't think much of Andy first time I laid eyes on him. Looked like a stiff breeze would blow him over. That was my first impression of the man.
What do you say, Red?
A tall drink of water with a silver spoon up his ass.
That guy? Never happened.
10 cigarettes.
That's a rich bet.
All right, who's gonna prove me wrong? Haywood? Tigger? Steve? Floyd? 4 brave souls.
Return to your cell blocks for evening count. All prisoners return to your cell blocks.
Turn to the right! Ice front.
This is Mr. Hadley. He's captain of the guards. I'm Mr. Norton, the warden. You are convicted felons. That's why they've sent you to me. Rule number 1, no blasphemy. I'll not have the Lord's name taken in vain in my prison. The other rules, you'll figure out as you go along. Any questions?
When do we eat?
You eat when we say you eat. You shit when we say you shit, and you piss when we say you piss. You got that, you maggot dick motherfucker? On your feet.
I believe in 2 things, discipline and the Bible. Here you'll receive both. Put your trust in the Lord. Your ass belongs to me. Welcome to Shawshank.
Unhook him. Turn around. That's enough. Move to the end of the cage. Turn around. Be lousy. Turn around. Move out of the cage, go to your left, pick up your clothes and Bible. Next man up. To the right. Right. Left.
The first night's the toughest. No doubt about it.
Upstairs.
They march you in naked as the day you were born. Skin burning and half blind from that delousing shit they throw on you. And when they put you in that cell, when those bars slam home, that's when you know it's for real. Old life blown away in the blink of an eye. Nothing left but all the time in the world to think about it. Most new fish come close to madness the first night. Somebody always breaks down crying. Happens every time. The only question is, Who's it gonna be? It's as good a thing to bet on as any, I guess. I had my money on Andy Dufresne.
Lights out!
I remember my first night. Seems like a long time ago.
I can hear no fish. You wish your daddy dipped your mom.
Fishy, piggy, pork. I want me a pork chop. Oh, yes. It's gonna be quiz later. Poke your ass out. Give me a first look.
The boys always go fishing with first-timers. And they don't quit till they reel someone in.
Sleep. You're gonna have nice fat ass. Dream, you're gonna be dreaming about me. Fat ass. Talk to me, boy. I know you're there. I can hear you breathing. I know you listen to these nitwits. You hear me? This place ain't so bad. Tell you what. I'll introduce you around, make you feel right at home. I know a couple of big old bull queers that just love to make your acquaintance. Especially that big white mushy butt of yours.
God, I don't belong here. We have a winner. I want to go home.
And it's fat ass by a nose. Fresh fish. Fresh fish. Fresh fish.
I don't belong here. I want to go home. I want my mother.
I had your mother. She wasn't afraid.
What the crisis is happy horse shit?
He took the Lord's name in vain. I'm telling him what.
You'll be telling him with my baton up your ass.
You gotta let me out of here.
What is your malfunction, you fat barrel of monkey spunk?
Please. I ain't supposed to be here. Not me.
I ain't gonna count to 3. I'm not even gonna count to 1. You will shut the fuck up or I'll sing you a lullaby.
Please. Man, shut up. Please. It's been a mistake. You don't understand. I'm not supposed to be here.
Open that cell.
Me neither.
Son of a bitch. If I hear so much as a mouse fart in here the rest of the night, I swear by God and Sonny Jesus, you will all visit the infirmary. Every last motherfucker in here.
All the trustees take that tub of shit down to the infirmary.
His first night in the joint, Andy Dufresne cost me 2 packs of cigarettes. He never made a sound.
Tier 3 north. Clear cap. Tier 2 north. Clear cap. Tier 2 south clear.
Tier 3 south, clear. Tier 1 north. Tier 1 south, clear.
Tier 4 south. Clear.
Ready to roll out?
Roll out!
Are you going to eat that?
Hadn't planned on it.
Do you mind? Yeah. That's nice and ripe. Jake says thank you. Fell out of his nest over by the plate shop. I'm gonna look after him until he's big enough to fly. Oh, no, here he comes.
Morning, fellas. Fine morning, isn't it? You know why it's a fine morning, don't you? Come on, set them down. I want them all lined up here, just like a pretty little chorus line. Yeah, look at that.
Stand the sky.
Oh, Lord. Yes. Richmond, Virginia.
Smell my ass.
After he smells mine. Gee, Red, that's a terrible shame about your horse coming in last and all. Boy, I sure do love that winning horse of mine, though. I believe I owe that boy a great big sloppy kiss when I see him.
Why don't you give him some of your cigarettes instead?
Hey, Tyrell, you pulling infirmary duty this week? How's that horse of mine doing anyway?
Dead? Hadley busted his head up pretty good. Doc had already gone home for the night. Poor bastard laid there till this morning. By then, hell, it wasn't nothing we could do.
What was his name?
What'd you say?
I was just wondering if anyone knew his name.
What the fuck do you care, new fish? Doesn't fucking matter what his name was. He's dead.
Hey, anybody come at you yet? Anybody get to you yet? Hey, we all need friends in here. I could be a friend to you. Hey. Hard to get. I like that.
Andy kept pretty much to himself at first. I guess he had a lot on his mind, trying to adapt to life on the inside. Wasn't until a month went by that he finally opened his mouth to say more than 2 words to somebody. As it turned out, that somebody was me.
I'm Andy Dufresne.
Wife-killing banker. Why'd you do it?
I didn't, since you asked.
You gonna fit right in. Everybody in here is innocent. And you know that? Haywood, what you in here for?
Didn't do it. Lawyer fucked me.
Rumor has it you're a real cold fish. You think your shit smells sweeter than most. Is that right?
What do you think?
I'll tell you the truth. I had made up my mind.
I understand you're a man that knows how to get things.
I'm known to locate certain things from time to time.
I wonder if you might get me a rock hammer.
What?
A rock hammer.
What is it and why?
What do you care?
Well, if it was a toothbrush, I wouldn't ask questions. I'd just quote a price. But then a toothbrush is a non-lethal object, isn't it?
Fair enough. Rock hammer's about 6 or 7 inches long. Looks like a miniature pickaxe.
Pickaxe?
For rocks.
Rocks. Quartz?
Quartz. Some mica. Shale. Limestone.
So?
So I'm a rock hound. At least I was in my old life. I'd like to be again on a limited basis.
Or maybe you'd like to sink your toe into somebody's skull.
No, sir. I have no enemies here.
No? Wait a while. Word gets around. Sisters have taken quite a liking to you. Especially Boggs.
I don't suppose it would help any if I explained to them I'm not homosexual.
Neither are they. They have to be human first. They don't qualify. Bull queers take by force. It's all they want or understand. But if I were you, I'd grow eyes in the back of my head.
Thanks for the advice.
Well, that's free. You understand my concern.
Well, if there's any trouble, I won't use the rock hammer, okay?
And I'd guess you want to escape. Tunnel under the wall, maybe. If I missed something here, what's funny?
You'll understand when you see the rock hammer.
What's an item like this usually go for?
$7 in a rock and gem shop.
My normal markup's 20%. But this is a specialty item. Risk goes up, price goes up. It's making it even $10.
10 it is.
Waste of money, if you ask me.
Why is that?
Folks who run this joint love surprise inspections. They find it, you're gonna lose it. If they do catch you with it, you don't know me. You mention my name, we'd never do business again. Not for shoelaces or a stick of gum. Now, you got that?
I understand. Thank you, Mr.
Red. Name's Red.
Red. Why do they call you that?
Maybe it's because I'm Irish. I could see why some of the boys took him for snobby. He had a quiet way about him. A walk and a talk that just wasn't normal around here. He strolled like a man in a park without a care or a worry in the world. Like he had on an invisible coat that would shield him from this place. Yeah, I think it would be fair to say I liked Andy from the start.
Let's go! Some of us got a schedule to keep. Move it! Cut! Move it! Bob, how you doing? How's the wife treat you? Easy. Keep it moving. Go.
Red. Andy was right. I finally got the joke. It would take a man about 600 years to tunnel under the wall with one of these.
Look.
Not today.
Look.
No.
Hey, Brooksy. Delivery for Dufresne.
Look. Look. Good friend. Here's your book. Thanks.
Dufresne, we're running low on Hexite. Get on back and fetch us up some.
in your eyes that blinds you.
Hush.
That's it. You fight. Better that way.
I wish I could tell you that Andy fought the good fight, and the sisters let him be. I wish I could tell you that, but prison is no fairy tale world. He never said who did it, but we all knew. Things went on like that for a while. Prison life consists of routine, and then more routine. Every so often, Andy would show up with fresh bruises. The sisters kept at him. Sometimes he was able to fight him off, sometimes not. And that's how it went for Andy. That was his routine. I do believe those first 2 years were the worst for him. And I also believe if things had gone on that way, this place would have got the best of him. But then in the spring of 1949, the powers that be decided that
The roof of the license plate factory needs resurfacing. I need a dozen volunteers for a week's work. As you know, special detail carries with it special privileges.
it was outdoor detail. And May is one damn fine month to be working outdoors.
Stay in line there.
More than 100 men volunteered for the job.
Wallace E. Unger. Ellis Redding.
Wouldn't you know it? Me and some fellows I know were among the names called.
Andrew Dufresne.
Only cost us a pack of smokes per man. I made my usual 20%, of course.
So this big shot lawyer calls me long distance from Texas. I say, yeah? He says, sorry to inform you, but your brother just died.
Oh, damn, Byron, I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm not. He was an asshole. Ran off years ago. Figured him for dead anyway. So anyway, this lawyer fella says to me, your brother died a rich man. Oil wells and shit. Close to $1 million.
$1 million?
Yeah. Fucking incredible how lucky some assholes get.
Jeez Louise, you gonna see any of that?
35,000. That's what he left me.
Dollars?
Yep.
Holy shit, that's great. That's like winning the sweepstakes. Isn't it?
Dumb shit. What do you think the government's gonna do to me? Take a big wet bite out of my ass is what?
Poor Barry. Terrible fucking luck, huh?
Crying shame. Some people really got it awful.
Andy, you nuts. Keep your eyes on your mouth, man. Andy.
Well, all right, you're gonna pay some taxes, but you'll still end up with
Oh, yeah. Maybe enough to buy a new car, and then what? I gotta pay tax on the car. Repair, maintenance, goddamn kids pestering you to take them for a ride all the time. Then at the end of the year, you figure the tax wrong, you gotta pay them out of your own pocket. I tell you, Uncle Sam, he puts his hand in your shirt and squeezes your tit till it's purple. The man never gets a break. That's
What's he doing?
You said rich getting himself killed.
Keep talking. No.
Some brother. Shit.
Hey!
Mr. Hadley, do you trust your wife?
Oh, that's funny. You're gonna look funnier sucking my dick with no teeth.
What I mean is, do you think she'd go behind your back, try to hamstring you?
That's it. Step aside, Mert. This fucker's having himself an accident.
You don't push him off the roof.
Because if you do trust her, there's no reason you can't keep that 35,000.
What did you say?
35,000.
35,000?
All of it.
All of it?
Every penny.
You better start making sense.
If you want to keep all that money, give it to your wife. The IRS allows a one-time only gift to your spouse for up to $60,000.
Bullshit. Tax-free?
Tax-free. IRS can't touch 1 cent.
You're that smart banker what killed his wife, aren't you? Why should I believe a smart banker like you? So I can end up in here with you?
It's perfectly legal. Go ask the IRS. They'll say the same thing. Actually, I feel stupid telling you this. I'm sure you would have investigated the matter yourself.
Yeah, fucking A. I don't need no smart wife-killing banker to tell me where the bear's shitting the buckwheat.
Of course not.
But you do need someone to set up the tax-free gift for you. And that'll cost you. A lawyer, for example.
Bunch of ball-washing bastards.
I suppose I could set it up for you. That would save you some money. You get the forms, I'll prepare them for you. Nearly free of charge. I'd only ask 3 beers apiece for each of my co-workers.
Co-workers, get him. That's rich, ain't it?
I think a man working outdoors feels more like a man if you can have a bottle of suds. It's only my opinion. Sir.
What are you Jimmy staring at? Back to work!
Let's go, work!
And that's how it came to pass, that on the second to last day of the job, the convict crew that tarred the plate factory roof in the spring of '49 wound up sitting in a row at 10 o'clock in the morning, drinking icy cold Bohemia-style beer, courtesy of the hardest screw that ever walked a turn at Shawshank State Prison.
Drink up while it's cold, ladies.
The colossal prick even managed to sound magnanimous. We sat and drank with the sun on our shoulders and felt like free men. Hell, we could have been tarring the roof of one of our own houses. We were the lords of all creation. As for Andy, he spent that break hunkered in the shade, a strange little smile on his face, watching us drink his beer.
Hey, want a cold one, Andy?
No, thanks. Gave up drinking.
You could argue he'd done it to curry favor with the guards. Or maybe make a few friends among us cons. Me, I think he did it just to feel normal again. If only for a short while.
Kingman. Chess. And there's a game of kings.
What?
Civilized, strategic.
And a total fucking mystery. I hate it.
Well, maybe let me teach you someday.
Sure.
I've been thinking of getting a board together.
Well, hey, you're talking to the right man. I'm the guy that can get things, right?
We might do business on a board. I want to carve the pieces myself. One side in alabaster, the opposing side in soapstone. What do you think?
I think it'll take years.
Years I got. What I don't have are the rocks. Pickings are pretty slim in the yard. Pebbles, mostly.
And we getting to be kind of friends, aren't
Yeah, I guess.
we? Ask you something. Why'd you do it?
I'm innocent, Red. Just like everybody else here. What are you in for?
Murder. Same as you.
Innocent.
Only guilty man in Shawshank.
Where's the canary? How did you know? How did I know what? So you don't know. Come. This is where the canary is, Johnny. Quite a surprise to hear a woman singing in my house, eh, Johnny? That's quite a surprise.
Wait.
she comes. This is the part I really like, just when she does that shit with her hair.
Oh, yeah, I know. I've seen it 3 times this month.
Gilda, are you decent?
Me?
God, I love it.
I understand you're a man that knows how to get things.
Yeah, I'm known to locate certain things from time to time. What do you want?
Rita Hayworth.
What?
Can you get her?
So this is Johnny Farrell. I've heard a lot about you, Johnny Farrell.
Take a few weeks.
Weeks?
Well, yeah, Andy. I don't have her stuff down in front of my pants right now, I'm sorry to say. But I'll get her. Relax.
Thanks.
It certainly was. You should have seen his face.
Did you tell him what I'm doing here?
No, I wanted to save that as a surprise, too.
Hang on to your hat, Mr. Farrell.
Gilda is my wife, Johnny.
Take a walk.
I gotta change the rear.
I said fuck off!
Really? What are you supposed to say to the bride?
Ain't you gonna scream?
Good luck.
Let's get this over with.
My husband tells me you're a great believer.
Broke my fucking nose!
Now, I'm gonna open my fly, and you're gonna swallow what I give you to swallow. And when you swallow mine, you're gonna swallow Rooster's. You done broke his nose. I think you ought to have something to show for it.
Anything you put in my mouth, you're gonna lose.
No. You don't understand. You do that, and I'll put all 8 inches of the steel in your ear.
All right. But you should know that sudden, serious brain injury causes the victim to bite down hard. In fact, I hear the bite reflex is so strong, they have to pry the victim's jaws open with a crowbar.
Where do you get this shit?
I read it. You know how to read? You ignorant fuck.
Honey, you shouldn't.
Boggs didn't put anything in Andy's mouth, and neither did his friends. What they did do is beat him within an inch of his life. Andy spent a month in the infirmary. Boggs spent a week in the hole.
Time's up, Boggs.
It's your world, boss.
Return to your cell blocks for evening count. All prisoners report for lockdown.
What?
Where's he going? Grab his ankles. No! 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 Help me, Dad!
Two things never happened again after that. The sisters never laid a finger on Andy again. And Boggs never walked again. They transferred him to a minimum security hospital upstate. To my knowledge, he lived out the rest of his days drinking his food through a straw. I'm thinking Andy could use a nice welcome back when he gets out of the infirmary.
Sounds good to us. I figure we owe him that much for the beer.
Man likes to play chess. Let's get him some rocks.
got one. Look.
Hey, Wood, that isn't soapstone. That ain't alabaster either.
What are you, a fucking geologist?
He's right, it ain't.
Well, what the hell is it then?
It's a horse apple.
Bullshit.
Oh, horse shit. Petrified.
Jesus. Oh, damn.
Despite a few hitches, the boys came through in fine style. And by the weekend it was due back, we had enough rock saved up to keep him busy till rapture. Also got a big shipment in that week. Cigarettes, chewing gum, sipping whiskey, playing cards with naked ladies on them, you name it. And of course, the most important item. Rita Hayworth herself.
Heads up. They're tossing the cells. Heads up. They're tossing the cells.
13. 119. 123.
On your feet. Place your roll. Turn around and face the ward.
Pleased to see you reading this. Any favorite passages?
Watch ye therefore, for ye know not when the master of the house cometh.
Mark 13:35. Always like that one. But I prefer, I'm the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life.
John chapter 8, verse 12.
I hear you're good with numbers. How nice. Man should have a skill.
Want to explain this?
It's called a rock blanket for shaping and polishing rocks. A little hobby of mine.
Pretty clean. Some contraband here, but nothing to get in a twist over.
Can't say I approve of this. But I suppose exceptions can be made.
Agama!
I almost forgot. I'd hate to deprive you of this. Salvation lies within.
Yes, sir.
Dawson's sales was just an excuse. Truth is, Norton wanted to size Andy up.
My wife made that in church group.
Very nice, sir.
You enjoy working in the laundry?
No, sir, not especially.
Well, perhaps we can find something more befitting a man of your education.
Hey, Jake, where's Brooks? Andy, and I thought I heard you out here.
I've been reassigned to you.
I know, they told me. Ain't that a kick in the head? Well, I'll give you the dime tour. Come on. Well, here she is. Shawshank Prison Library. National Geographics. Reader's Digest, condensed books, and Louis L'Amour. Look magazine, Earl Stanley Gardner's. Every evening, I load up the cart and make my round. I enter the names on this clipboard here. Easy peasy, Japanesey. Any questions?
Brooks, how long have you been librarian?
Oh, I come here in '05, and they made me librarian in 1912.
And in all that time, have you ever had an assistant?
No, not much to it, really.
Well, why me? Why now?
I don't know. But it'd be nice to have some company down here for a change.
Dufresne!
That's him. That's the one.
I'm Deakins. I was, thinking about maybe setting up some kind of trust fund for my kids' educations.
Oh, I see. Well, why don't we have a seat and talk it over? Brooks, do you have a piece of paper and a pencil? Thanks. So, Mr. Deakins.
And then Andy says, Mr. Deacon, you want your sons to go to Harvard or Yale?
He didn't say that.
God is my witness. And Deacon just blinked for a second. And then he laughed himself silly, and afterwards he actually shook Andy's hand. My ass. Shook his hand. Yeah, I near soiled myself. All Andy needed was a suit and a tie and a little jiggly hula gal on his desk. He would have been Mr. Dufresne, if you please.
Making a few friends, huh, Randy?
I wouldn't say friends. I'm a convicted murderer who provides sound financial planning. It's a wonderful pet to have.
Got you out of the laundry, though, didn't it?
Well, might do more than that. How about expanding the library, get some new books in there?
Gonna ask for something. Ask for a pool table.
Right.
How do you expect to do that? I'm getting new books in here, Mr. Dufresne, if you please.
Ask the warden for funds.
Son, 6 wardens have been through here in my tenure, and I've learned one immutable, universal truth. Not one of them born whose asshole wouldn't pucker up tighter than a snare drum when you ask him for funds.
Budget's stretched thin as it is.
I see. Perhaps I could write the state senate and request funds directly from them.
As far as they're concerned, only 3 ways to spend the taxpayers' hard-earned when it comes to prisons. More walls, more bars, more guards.
Still, I'd like to try, with your permission. I'll write a letter a week. They can't ignore me forever.
Sure can. But you write your letters if it makes you happy. I'll even mail them for you. How's that?
So Andy started writing a letter a week, just like he said. And, just like Norton said, Andy got no answers. The following April, Andy did tax returns for half the guards at Shawshank. Year after that, he did them all, including the wardens. Year after that, they rescheduled the start of the intramural season to coincide with tax season. The guards on the opposing teams all remembered to bring their W-2s.
So, Moresby Prison issued you your gun, but you actually had to pay for it.
Damn right, the holster too.
See, that's tax deductible. You can write that off.
Yes, sir. Andy was a regular cottage industry. In fact, it got so busy at tax time, he was allowed a staff.
Hey, Red, can you hand me a stack of 1040s?
Got me out of the wood shop a month out of the year, and that was fine by me. And still, we kept sending those letters.
Red, Andy, it's Brooks.
Just drop that. What's the door? Please, Brooks, just calm the fuck down, will you?
Come on.
Okay. Stay back, goddamn!
What the hell's going on?
You tell me. Just 1 second, he's finding out come the knife. Dirty
Brooks.
sons of bitches.
Brooks, we can talk about this, right?
Nothing to talk about, goddammit. It's all talked out. I'm gonna kill his fucking throat.
Haywood? Wait a minute. What's he done to you?
And that's what they done. I got no choice.
Brooks, you're not gonna hurt Haywood. We all know that. Even Haywood knows that, right, Haywood?
I know that, sir.
You know why you're not gonna hurt him? Because he's a friend of yours and because Brooks Hadlin is a reasonable man.
That's right. Is that right, guys?
Yes. So put the knife down. Brooks, look at me. Put the knife down. Brooks, look at his neck, for God's sake. Brooks, look at his neck. He's bleeding.
It's the only way they'd let me stay.
Come on, this is crazy. You don't want to do this. Come on. Put it down. Hey, come on. Take it easy. It'll be all right.
Hell, what about me? Crazy old fool goddamn near cut my throat.
Oh, shit, Haywood, you've had worse from shaving. What the hell did you do to set him off anyway?
I didn't do nothing. I come in here to say fare thee well. Ain't you heard his parole come through?
I just don't understand what happened in there, that's all. Old man's crazy as a rat in a tin shithouse is what.
Oh, Haywood, that's enough out of you.
I heard he had you shitting in your pants.
Fuck you.
Won't you knock it off? Brooks ain't no bug. It's just institutionalized.
Institutionalized my ass.
The man's been in here 50 years, Haywood. 50 years. This is all he knows. In here, he's an important man. He's an educated man. Outside, he's nothing. Just a used-up con with arthritis in both hands. Probably couldn't get a library card if he tried. You know what I'm trying to say?
Red, I do believe you're talking out of your ass.
You believe whatever you want, Floyd. But I'm telling you, these walls are funny. First you hate them, then you get used to them. Enough time passes, it gets so you depend on them. That's institutionalized.
Shit. You can never get like that. Oh, yeah? Say that when you've been here as long as Brooks has.
Goddamn right. They send you here for life, that's exactly what they take. Part that counts, anyway.
I can't take care of you no more, Jake. You're gone now. You're free. You're free.
Dear fellas, I can't believe how fast things move on the outside. I saw an automobile once when I was a kid, but now they're everywhere. The world went and got itself in a big damn hurry. The parole board got me into this halfway house called the Brewer, and a job bagging groceries at the Foodway. It's hard work. I try to keep up, but my hands hurt most of the time.
Make sure your man double bags. Last time he didn't double bag, and the bottom near came out.
Make sure you double bag, like the lady says, understand?
Yes, sir. Jolly well. I don't think the store manager likes me very much. Sometimes after work, I go to the park and feed the birds. I keep thinking Jake might just show up and say hello, but he never does. I hope wherever he is, he's doing okay and making new friends. I have trouble sleeping at night. I have bad dreams like I'm falling. I wake up scared. Sometimes it takes me a while to remember where I am. Maybe I should get me a gun and rob the Foodway so they'd send me home. I could shoot the manager while I was at it, sort of like a bonus. I guess I'm too old for that sort of nonsense anymore. I don't like it here. I'm tired of being afraid all the time. I've decided not to stay. I doubt they'll kick up any fuss. Not for an old crook like me.
I doubt they'll kick up any fuss. Not for an old crook like me. P.S. Tell Haywood I'm sorry I put a knife to his throat. No hard feelings, Brooks.
You should have died in here.
What the fuck have you done to me? It's a goddamn mess, I'll tell you that.
What's all this?
You tell me, fuckstick, they're all addressed to you.
I take it.
Dear Mr. Dufresne, in response to your repeated inquiries, the state has allocated the enclosed funds for your library project. This is $200. In addition, the library district has generously responded with a charitable donation of used books and sundries. We trust this will fill your needs. We now consider the matter closed. Please stop sending us letters.
I want all this cleared out before the warden gets back.
Yes, sir.
Good for you, Andy.
It only took 6 years. From now on, I'll write 2 letters a week instead of 1.
I believe you're crazy enough. Now, you better get all this stuff out of here like the captain said. Now, I'm gonna go pinch a loaf. When I come back, this is all gone, all right?
Andy, do you hear that?
Andy, let me out. Andy? Andy?
I have no idea to this day what those 2 Italian ladies were singing about. Truth is, I don't want to know. Some things are best left unsaid. I like to think they were singing about something so beautiful it can't be expressed in words, and makes your heart ache because of it. I tell you, those voices soared, higher and farther than anybody in a great place dares to dream. It was like some beautiful bird flapped into our drab little cage and made those walls dissolve away. And for the briefest of moments, every last man at Shawshank felt free. It pissed the warden off something awful.
Open the door. Open it up! Dufresne, open this door! Turn that off! I am warning you, Dufresne! Turn that off!
Rain. You're mine now.
Andy got 2 weeks in the hole for that little stunt.
On your feet.
Hey, look who's here.
Maestro.
Hey. And you couldn't play something good, huh? With Hank Williams or something?
They broke the door down before I could take requests.
Was it worth it? 2 weeks in the hole?
Easiest time I ever did.
Oh, shit. There's no such thing as easy time in the hole.
That's right, a week in the hole is like a year. Damn straight.
I had Mr. Mozart to keep me company.
So they let you tote that record player down there, huh?
It's in here. In here. That's the beauty of music. They can't get that from you.
Haven't you ever felt that way about music?
I played a mean harmonica as a younger man. Lost interest in it, though. Didn't make much sense in here.
Here's where it makes the most sense. You need it so you don't forget.
Forget?
Forget that there are places in the world that aren't made out of stone, that there's something inside that they can't get to, that they can't touch. It's yours.
What are you talking about?
Hope.
Hope. Let me tell you something, my friend. Hope is a dangerous thing. Hope can drive a man insane. It's got no use on the inside. You better get used to that idea.
Like Brooks did?
Sit down. Says here that you served 30 years of life sentence. You feel you've been rehabilitated?
Oh, yes, sir. Without a doubt. And I can honestly say I'm a changed man. No danger to society here. God's honest truth. Absolutely rehabilitated. $30 years. Jesus, when you say it like that.
You wonder where it went? I wonder where 10 years went. Here. Little parole rejection present. Go ahead and open it. Had to go through one of your competitors. I hope you don't mind. I wanted it to be a surprise.
It's very pretty, Andy. Thank you.
You gonna play it?
Not right now. Andy was as good as his word. He wrote 2 letters a week instead of 1. In 1959, the state Senate finally clued into the fact they couldn't buy him off with just a $200 check. Appropriations Committee voted an annual payment of $500 just to shut him up. And you'd be amazed how far Andy could stretch it. He made deals with book clubs, charity groups. He bought remainder books by the pound.
Treasure Island, Robert Louis
Stevenson. Fiction, adventure. What's next?
I got here auto repair and soap carving.
Trade skills and hobbies. Goes under educational. Stack behind you.
Count of Monte Cristo
That's Cristo, you dumb shit.
by Alexandre Dumas. Dumbass.
Dumbass. Dumas. You know what that's about? You'll like it. It's about a prison break.
Well, we ought to file that on the educational, too, oughtn't we? The rest of us did our best to pitch in when and where we could. By the year Kennedy was shot, Andy had transformed a storage room smelling of rat turds and turpentine into the best prison library in New England, complete with a fine selection of Hank Williams.
Lord, don't know what to do. All I do is sit inside.
That was also the year Warden Norton instituted his famous Inside Out program. You may remember reading about it. It made all the papers and got his picture in Look magazine.
No free ride, but rather a genuine progressive advance in corrections and rehabilitation. Our inmates, properly supervised, will be put to work outside these walls, performing all manner of public service. These men can learn the value of an honest day's labor while providing a valuable service to the community and at a bare minimum of expense to Mr. and Mrs. John Q. taxpayer.
Of course, Norton failed to mention to the press that bare minimum of expense is a fairly loose term. There are 100 different ways to skim off the top. Men, materials, you name it. And oh my Lord, how the money rolled in.
This keeps up, you're gonna put me out of business.
Ned.
This pool of slave labor you got, you can underbid any contractor in town.
Ned, we're providing a valuable community service here.
Well, that's fine for the papers, but I've got a family to feed. Sam, we go back a long way. I need this new highway contract. I don't get it, and I go under. That's a fact. You just have some of this fine pie my missus made especially for you. What do you think about that?
Ned, I wouldn't worry too much about this contract. Seems to me I already got my boys committed elsewhere. You be sure and thank Maisie for this fine pie.
And behind every shady deal, behind every dollar earned, there was Andy, keeping the books.
2 deposits, Maine National and New England First. Night drops as always, sir.
Get my stuff down the laundry. 2 suits for dry clean, a bag of whatnot.
Yes, sir.
Tell them they overstarched my shirts again. They're going to hear about it from me. How do I look?
Very nice, sir.
Big charity to do out Portland Way. Governor's going to be there. Want the rest of this? Woman can't bake with shit.
Thank you, sir.
He's got his fingers in a lot of pies from what I hear.
2 years and half. He's got scams you haven't even dreamed of. Kickbacks on his kickbacks. It's a river of dirty money running through this place.
Yeah, but the problem with having all that money is sooner or later you're going to have to explain where it came from.
Well, that's where I come in. I channel it, filter it, funnel it. Stocks, securities, tax-free municipals. I send that money out into the real world, and when it comes back...
Clean as a virgin's honey powder.
Cleaner. By the time Norton retires, I'll have made him a millionaire.
he ever catch on, though, he's gonna wind up in here wearing a number himself.
Now, Red, I thought you had a little more faith in me than that.
I know you're good, Andy, but all that paper leaves a trail. Now, anybody gets curious, FBI, IRS, whatever, it's gonna lead to somebody.
Sure it is, but not to me. And certainly not to the warden.
All right, who?
Randall Stevens.
Who?
The silent partner. He's the guilty one, Your Honor. The man with the bank accounts. It's where the filtering process starts. They trace anything, it's just gonna lead to him.
But who is he?
He's a phantom, an apparition. Second cousin to Harvey the Rabbit. I conjured him out of thin air. He doesn't exist, except on paper.
Andy, you can't just make a person up.
I'm sure you can. If you know how the system works, where the cracks are. It's amazing what you can accomplish by mail. Mr. Stevens has a birth certificate, driver's license, social security number.
You're shitting me.
If they ever trace any of those accounts, they're gonna wind up chasing a figment of my imagination.
I'll be damned. Did I say you were good? Shit, you're a Rembrandt.
You know, the funny thing is, on the outside, I was an honest man, straight as an arrow. I had to come to prison to be a crook.
Ah!
Ever bother you? I don't run the scams, Red. I just process the profits. It's a fine line, maybe, but also built that library and used it to help a dozen guys get their high school diploma. Why do you think the warden lets me do all that?
Keep you happy and doing the laundry. Money instead of sheets.
Well, I work cheap. That's the trade-off.
Tommy Williams came to Shawshank in 1965 on a 2-year stretch for B&E. That's breaking and entering to you. Cops caught him sneaking TV sets out the back door of a J.C. Penney. Young punk. Mr. Rock and Roll. Cocky as hell.
Hey, come on, old boys! Move it like molasses! Making me look bad!
We liked him immediately.
So I'm backing out the door, right? And I got the TV like this. It was a big old thing. I couldn't see shit. Suddenly, here's his voice.
Freeze, kid. Hands in the air.
Well, I'm just standing there holding on to that TV, so finally the voice says, "You hear what I said, boy?" I say, "Yes, sir. I sure did. But if I drop this fucking thing, you got me on destruction of property, too."
Hey, you done a stretch in Cashman, right?
Yeah, that was an easy piece of time, let me tell you. Weekend furloughs, work programs, not like here.
Sounds like you've done time all over New England.
Yeah, I've been in and out since I was 13. You name the place, chances are I've been there.
Perhaps it's time you tried a new profession. What I mean is, you don't seem to be a very good thief. Maybe you should try something else.
Yeah, well, what the hell you know about it, Capone? What are you in for?
Me? Lawyer, fuck me. Everybody's innocent in here. Don't you know that?
As it turned out, Tommy had himself a young wife and a new baby girl. Maybe it was the thought of them on the streets or his child growing up not knowing her daddy. Whatever it was, something lit a fire under that boy's ass.
Just thinking maybe trying for my high school equivalency. Here you helped a couple fellows with that.
I don't waste time on losers, Tommy.
I ain't no goddamn loser.
You mean that?
Yeah.
You really mean that?
Yes, sir, I do.
Good. Because if we do this, we do it all the way. 100%. Nothing half-assed.
Thing is, he, don't
read so good. Well. You don't read so well. We'll get to that. R-S-T.
So Andy took Tommy under his wing, started walking him through his ABCs. Tommy took to it pretty well, too. Boy found brains he never knew he had. Before long, Andy started him on his course requirements. He really liked the kid. Gave him a thrill to help a youngster crawl off the shit heap. But that wasn't the only reason. Prison time is slow time, so you do what you can to keep going. Some fellas collect stamps. Others build matchstick houses. Andy built a library. Now he needed a new project. Tommy was it. It was the same reason he spent years shaping and polishing those rocks. The same reason he hung his fantasy girlies on the wall. In prison, a man will do most anything to keep his mind occupied. By 1966, right about the time Tommy was getting ready to take his exams, it was lovely Raquel.
Well?
Well, it's for shit. Wasted a whole fucking year of my time with this bullshit.
It's probably not as bad as you think.
Yeah, it's worse. I didn't get a fucking thing right. Might as well have been in Chinese.
Let's see how the score comes out.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you how the goddamn score comes out. 2 points right there. There's your goddamn score. Goddamn cats crawling up trees. 5 times 5 is 25. Fuck this place! Fuck it! Feel bad. Let him down.
Oh, that's crap, kid. He's proud of you. We've been friends a long time, so I know him as good as anybody.
Smart fella, ain't he?
Smart as they come. Used to be a banker on the outside.
What's he in here for, anyway?
Murder.
The hell you say?
You wouldn't think it to look at the guy. Caught his wife in bed with some golf pro. Greased them both. What?
About 4 years ago, I was in Thomaston on a 2 to 3 stretch. Stole a car. It's a dumb fuck thing to do. About 6 months left to go. Get a new cellmate in. Elmo Blatch. Big, twitchy fucker. Kind of roomy you pray you don't get. You know what I'm saying? 6 to 12, armed burglary. Said he pulled hundreds of jobs. Hard to believe how strung as he was. He'd cut a loud fart. He'd jump 3 feet in the air. Talked all the time, too. That's the other thing. He never shut up. Places he'd been, jobs he pulled, women he fucked, even people he killed. People gave him shit. That's how he put it. So, one night, like a joke, I say to him, yeah, Elmo, who'd you kill? So he says,
I got me this job one time, bussing tables at a country club, so I could case all these big, rich pricks that come in. So I pick out this guy, go in one night, and do his place. He wakes up, gives me shit. So I killed him. Him and this tasty bitch he was with. And that's the best part. She's fucking this prick, see, this golf pro, but she's married some other guy. Some hotshot banker. And he's the one they pinned it on.
I have to say, that's the most amazing story I ever heard. What amazes me most is you were taken in by it.
Sir?
Well, it's obvious this fellow Williams is impressed with you. He hears your tale of woe and, quite naturally, wants to cheer you up. He's young, not terribly bright. Not surprising he wouldn't know what a state he put you in.
Sir, he's telling the truth.
But let's say for the moment this Blatch does exist. You think he'd just fall to his knees and cry, "Yes, I did it, I confess. Oh, and by the way, add a life term to my sentence."
You know that wouldn't matter. With Tommy's testimony, I can get a new trial.
Well, that's assuming Blatch is even still there. Chances are excellent he'd be released by now.
Well, they'd have his last known address, names of relatives. It's a chance, isn't it? How can you be so obtuse?
What did you call me?
Obtuse? Is it deliberate?
Son, you're forgetting yourself.
The country club will have his old time cards, records, W-2s with his name on them.
Frayne, if you want to indulge this fantasy, that's your business. Don't make it mine. This meeting is over.
Sir, if I were to ever get out, I would never mention what goes on in here. I'd be just as indictable as you for laundering that money.
Don't you ever mention money to me again, you sorry son of a bitch. Not in this office, not anywhere. Get in here now.
I was just trying to set your mind at ease, that's all. Sir, I didn't...
Solitary, a month.
Yes, sir. Hi.
What's the matter with you?
Get him out of here.
This is my chance to get out. Don't you see that? It's my life. Don't you understand? It's my life.
Get him out. Get him
It's
out.
my life.
A month in the hole. It's the longest damn stretch I ever heard of.
It's all my fault.
Oh, bullshit. You didn't pull the trigger, and you certainly didn't convict him.
Well, are you saying that Andy is innocent? I mean, for real innocent?
It looks that way.
Sweet Jesus. How long's he been here now?
1947? What is that? 19 years?
19 years.
Williams, Thomas.
Yeah, over here.
Paxson, Edward.
What you got? Board of Education.
Son of a bitch mailed it.
Like he did. You gonna open it? You're gonna stand there with your thumb up your butt.
Thumb up my butt sounds better. Hey, Ski, come on, give me that, you shit. Floyd, come on.
Whoa, whoa.
Snooze, you're red. Come on, will you throw that away, please?
Well, shit.
Kid passed. C+ average. Thought you'd like to know.
Warden wants to talk.
Out here?
That's what the man said.
Warden?
Tommy? Tommy, I'm asking you to keep this conversation just between us. Feel awkward enough as it is. We got a situation here. I think you can appreciate that.
Yes, sir. I sure can.
Tell you, son, this thing really came along and knocked my wind out. It's got me up nights. That's the truth. The right thing to do. Sometimes it's hard to know what that is. You understand? I need your help, son. If I'm gonna move on this, there can't be the least little shred of doubt. I have to know if what you told Dufresne was the truth.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Would you be willing to swear before a judge and jury, having placed your hand on the good book and taken an oath before Almighty God himself?
Just give me that chance.
That's what I thought. I'm sure by now you've heard. Terrible thing. A man that young, less than a year to go, trying to escape. Broke Captain Hadley's heart to shoot him. Truly it did. We just have to put it behind us. Move on.
I'm done. Everything stops. Get someone else to run your scams.
Nothing stops. Nothing. You will do the hardest time there is. No more protection from the guards. I'll pull you out of that one bunk Hilton and cast you down with the sodomites. You'll think you've been fucked by a train. In the library? Gone. Sealed off, brick by brick. We'll have us a little book barbecue in the yard. You'll see the flames for miles. We'll dance around it like wild Indians. You understand me? Catching my drift? Where am I being obtuse? Give him another month to think about it.
My wife used to say I'm a hard man to know. Like a closed book. Complained about it all the time. She was beautiful. God, I loved her. I just didn't know how to show it, that's all. I killed her, Red. I didn't pull the trigger. I drove her away. And that's why she died, because of me. The way I am.
don't make you a murderer. Bad husband, maybe. Feel bad about it if you want to, but you didn't pull the trigger.
No, I didn't. Somebody else did. And I wound up in here. Bad luck, I guess. Yeah. Floats around. Gotta land on somebody. It was my turn, that's all. I was in the path of the tornado. I didn't expect that the storm would last as long as it has. You think you'll ever get out of here?
Me? Yeah. One day, when I got a long white beard and 2 or 3 marbles rolling around upstairs, they let me out.
I'll tell you where I'd go. Zihuatanejo Hill.
What?
Zihuatanejo Hill. It's in Mexico. A little place on the Pacific Ocean. You know what the Mexicans say about the Pacific? No. They say it has no memory. That's where I want to live the rest of my life. A warm place with no memory. Open up a little hotel right on the beach. Buy some worthless old boat and fix it up new. Take my guests out. Charter fishing.
Zihuatanejo.
In a place like that, I could use a man that knows how to get things.
I don't think I could make it on the outside, Andy. I've been in here most of my life. I'm an institutional man now. It's like Brooks was.
Wow, you underestimate yourself.
I don't think so. In here, I'm the guy who can get things for you, sure, but outside, all you need is the yellow pages. Hell, I wouldn't even know where to begin. Pacific Ocean? Shit. That'd scare me to death, something that big.
Not me. I didn't shoot my wife, and I didn't shoot her lover. Whatever mistakes I made, I paid for them and then some. That hotel, that boat, I don't think that's too much to ask.
I don't think you ought to be doing this to yourself, Andy. This is just shitty pipe dreams. I mean, Mexico is way the hell down there, and you're in here, and that's the way it is.
Yeah, right. That's the way it is. It's down there, and I'm in here. I guess it comes down to a simple choice, really. Get busy living. You get busy dying.
Andy.
Red, if you ever get out of here, do me a favor.
Sure, Andy. Anything.
There's a big hayfield up near Buxton. You know where Buxton is?
There's a lot of hayfields up there.
One in particular. It's got a long rock wall with a big oak tree at the north end. It's like something out of a Robert Frost poem. It's where I asked my wife to marry me. We went there for a picnic and made love under that oak, and I asked, and she said yes. Promise me, Red, if you ever get out, find that spot. The
base of that wall, you'll find a rock that has no earthly business in a Maine hayfield. A piece of black, volcanic glass. There's something buried under it I want you to have.
What, Andy? What's buried under there?
You'll have to pry it up to see.
No, I'm telling you, the guy's he's talking funny. I'm really worried about him. You gotta keep an eye on him.
That's fine during the day, but at night he's got that cell all to himself.
Oh, Lord.
What?
Andy come down to the loading dock today. He asked me for a length of rope.
Rope?
6 feet long. And you gave it to him. Sure I did. Why wouldn't I?
Jesus, Haywood.
How the hell was I supposed to know?
Remember Brooks Hanlon?
No. And he'd never do that. Never.
I don't know. Every man has his breaking point.
Lickety split. Want to get home?
Just about finished, sir. Three deposits tonight.
Get my stuff down to the laundry. And shine my shoes. I want them looking like mirrors. It's good having you back, Andy. Place wasn't the same without you.
I've had some long nights in stir. Alone in the dark with nothing but your thoughts, time can draw out like a blade. That was the longest night of my life.
Tier 3 south, clear. Tier 4 north, clear bound. Tier 3 north, clear. Man missing on Tier 2, cell 245. Dufresne! Get your ass out here, boy. You're holding up the show. Don't make me come down there. I'll thump your skull for you. Damn it, Dufresne, you're putting me behind. I got a schedule to keep. You better be sick or dead in there, I shit you not. You hear me?
Oh, my holy God.
every man on this cell block questioned. Start with that friend of his.
Who?
Him.
Open 237.
What do you mean he just wasn't here? Don't say that to me, Haig. Don't say that to me again.
But, sir, he wasn't.
I can see that, Haig. Think I'm blind? Is that what you're saying? Am I blind, Haig?
No, sir.
What about you? You blind? Tell me what this is.
Last night's count.
Mm-hmm. You see Dufresne's name there? I sure do. See, right there. Dufresne. He was in his cell at lights out. Stands to reason he'd still be here in the morning. I want him found. Not tomorrow, not after breakfast, now.
Yes, sir. Go, let's go. Move your butts. Move it!
Stand.
Well?
Well, what?
I see you two all the time. You're thick as thieves, you are. He must have said something.
Also, Warden. Not a word.
Lord, it's a miracle! Man up and vanished like a fart in the wind. Nothing left but some damn rocks on the windowsill. And that cupcake on the wall. Let's ask her. Maybe she knows. What say there, Fussy Britches? Feel like talking? Ah, guess not. Why should she be any different? This is a conspiracy. That's what this is. One big damn conspiracy! And everyone's in on it! Including her.
In 1966, Andy Dufresne escaped from Shawshank Prison. All they found of him was a muddy set of prison clothes, a bar of soap, and an old rock hammer, damn near worn down to the nub. I remember thinking it would take a man 600 years to tunnel through the wall with it. Old Andy did it in less than 20. Oh, Andy loved geology. I imagine it appealed to his meticulous nature. An ice age here, million years of mountain building there. Geology is the study of pressure and time. That's all it takes, really. Pressure and time. That and a big goddamn poster. Like I said, in prison, a man will do most anything to keep his mind occupied. Turns out, Andy's favorite hobby was toting his wall out into the exercise yard. A handful at a time. I guess after Tommy was killed, Andy decided he'd been here just about long enough.
Look at your split. I want to get home.
I'm just about finished, sir. Three deposits tonight.
Andy did like he was told. Buffed those shoes to a high mirror shine. The guard simply didn't notice. Neither did I. I mean, seriously, how often do you really look at a man's shoes? Andy crawled to freedom through 500 yards of shit-smelling foulness I can't even imagine. Or maybe I just don't want to. "500 yards. That's the length of 5 football fields. Just shy of half a mile. The next morning, right about the time Raquel was spilling her little secret, a man nobody ever laid eyes on before strolled into the Maine National Bank. Until that moment, he didn't exist, except on paper.
May I help you?
He had all the proper ID, driver's license, birth certificate, social security card, and the signature was a spot-on match.
I must say, I'm sorry to be losing your business. I hope you'll enjoy living abroad.
Thank you. I'm sure I will.
Here's your cashier's check, sir. Will there be anything else?
Please, could you add this to your outgoing mail?
I'd be happy to.
Good day, sir.
Mr. Stevens visited nearly a dozen banks in the Portland area that morning. All told, he blew town with better than $370,000 of Warden Norton's money. Severance pay for 19 years.
Good morning, Portland Daily Bugle.
Hadley, you have the right to remain silent. If you give up the right to remain silent, anything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law.
I wasn't there to see it, but I hear Byron Hadley started sobbing like a little girl when they took him away. Norton had no intention of going that quietly.
Samuel Norton, we have a warrant for your arrest. Open up. Norton! Open the door.
I'm not sure which key it is.
Norton! Make it easy on yourself, Norton.
I like to think the last thing that went through his head, other than that bullet, was to wonder how the hell Andy Dufresne ever got the best of him.
Carter, James.
Not long after the warden deprived us of his company, I got a postcard in the mail. It was blank, but the postmark said Fort Hancock, Texas. Fort Hancock, right on the border. That's where Andy crossed. When I picture him heading south in his own car with the top down, it always makes me laugh. Andy Dufresne, who crawled through a river of shit and came out clean on the other side. Andy Dufresne, headed for the Pacific.
Hadley's got him by the throat, right? And he said, I believe this boy's about to have himself an accident.
Those of us who knew him best talk about him often. I swear the stuff he pulled.
I believe these friends of mine could use a couple of beers. And he got it. And he got it.
Sometimes it makes me sad, though. Andy being gone. I have to remind myself that some birds aren't meant to be caged. Their feathers are just too bright. And when they fly away, the part of you that knows it was a sin to lock them up does rejoice. But still, the place you live in is that much more drab and empty that they're gone. I guess I just miss my friend.
Please sit down. Ellis Boyd Redding, your files say you've served 40 years of a life sentence. You feel you've been rehabilitated?
Rehabilitated? Well, now, let me see. You know, I don't have any idea what that means.
Well, it means you're ready to rejoin society.
I know what you think it means, Sonny. To me, it's just a made-up word. A politician's word, so that young fellas like yourself can wear a suit and a tie and have a job. What do you really want to know? Am I sorry for what I did?
Well, are you?
There's not a day goes by I don't feel regret. Not because I'm in here, because you think I should. I look back on the way I was then. A young, stupid kid who committed that terrible crime. I want to talk to him. I want to try to talk some sense to him. Tell him the way things are. But I can't. That kid's long gone. This old man is all that's left. I gotta live with that. Rehabilitated, it's just a bullshit word. So you go on and stamp your form, Sonny, and stop wasting my time. Because to tell you the truth, I don't give a shit.
Restroom break, boss?
You don't need to ask me every time you need to go take a piss. Just go, understand?
For 40 years, I've been asking permission to piss. I can't squeeze a drop without say-so. There's a harsh truth to face. No way I'm gonna make it on the outside. All I do anymore is think of ways to break my parole. So maybe they'd send me back. Terrible thing to live in fear. Brooks Hadlin knew it all too well. All I want is to be back where things make sense, where I won't have to be afraid all the time. Only one thing stops me. A promise I made to Andy.
It is.
Much obliged, sir.
Dear Red, if you're reading this, you've gotten out. And if you've come this far, maybe you're willing to come a little further. You remember the name of the town, don't you?
Zihuatanejo.
I could use a good man to help me get my project on wheels. I'll keep an eye out for you, and the chessboard ready. Remember, Red, hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. I will be hoping that this letter finds you, and finds you well. Your friend, Andy.
Get busy living or get busy dying. That's goddamn right. For the second time in my life, I'm guilty of committing a crime. Parole violation. Of course, I doubt they'll toss up any roadblocks for that.
Yep.
Not for an old crook like me.
Fort Hancock, Texas, please.
I find I'm so excited I can barely sit still or hold a thought in my head. I think it's the excitement only a free man can feel. A free man at the start of a long journey whose conclusion is uncertain. I hope I can make it across the border. I hope to see my friend and shake his hand. I hope the Pacific is as blue as it has been in my dreams.